expressions in column B, and mathematical terms and concepts in column B, in column A, sorry. So column A, we have the concepts or terms, and B has explanations. Now, the easiest way to do this is to, first and foremost, they told you these numbers are supposed to be written. You write these numbers in your answer sheet. So we're going to write these numbers in our answer. I will just write below here. So first and foremost, you come there, we say it's 1.1.1. We have 1.1.2, 1.1.3, 1.1.4. So first and foremost, you come here through, you check and you see the terms and you read. A number showing the relationship between the distance on the map and actual distance. This is supposed to be the scale. They're saying a number. So it's a scale factor. Oh, number scale. All right. The likelihood that something might happen. This one we call it probability. Why am I saying that something might happen? Okay. C, time measurement equivalent to 3,600 seconds. 3,600 seconds. This, when you want to change it, you change it to minutes first, you get 60 minutes. When you change this completely to, becomes 1 hour. Okay. I'm trying to go through the definition and see whether I have a general term. The boundary that surrounds a circular shape, this has to be circumference. Circumference. Then E, an equivalent to the mass of a person divided by, take note of that, mass of a person divided by the height squared. This is good from BMI. Why? We got the mass for the person, brackets kg, divided by the height, which is in meters. What? So I'm looking for the terms. So E stands for BMI. So the line drawn from one end of the circle to the end. Yeah, this is the line that runs through. We shall call this line, or it's known as the diameter. The measuring of the hotness and the coldness. Yeah, this is temperature. Then the time measurement equivalent to 600 seconds. 600 seconds, if you divide by 60, we get 10 minutes. All right, these are minutes. So we come through and we find out and we see 1.1 was temperature. Oh, temperature, we've got it as G. So our answer here is supposed to be G. So this is gone. The line that diameter, we don't have any diameter here. It's finished. The equivalence, we don't have anything to do with body mass, gone. The boundary surrounding, we say circumference, or do we have circumference? Oh, okay, it's 4. Then here we come and say, this is the answer here, it's D. D is gone. C, the time measurement is 1 hour. Do we have 1 hour? Yes. So here it's a C. Is finished. B, the probability. So we have B as. So B is gone. Everything is done now. Here we go. That was supposed to be the answer. So the answer is supposed to be G, C, B, and D. 1.2.1. Vector recently relocated from Durban to Sandton because of the heavy traffic. He mostly uses the How train. Say the How train transport map on annexure A and answer the questions that follow. This is the annexure. This is how it looks like. And let's look at the questions. In which general direction is Rosefield from Rosebank? From Rosebank. So first and foremost, we need to allocate Rosebank. Here it is. Here it is. So Rosebank is here. And Rosefield is here. So from which direction? So if this is north, then which direction are we taking? North. northeast. So your answer here is supposed to be northeast. Write down the number of stations that are located on the map. Number of stations. Come here. We have the key here, but it won't show you, but these are all stations. We have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we have 9 here. So we have 9. The answer here is supposed to be 9 stations. Some people see the other one's an airport. So it's a station. So it's not a rail station. Victor is working in Pretoria CBD. Determine the number of stops he will make on the whole train on his way from work. His way from work to Santon. So he works in Pretoria. So here we are. How many stops are we going to see? We have, but this is where he like. Okay, we have 3. So we shall not count Pretoria because write down the number of stations. Okay, write down the Victor works again. How many stops does he make? He makes 4. We can't count Pretoria, ne? Because it's leaving. He is not stopping, it's leaving. So he leaves, he stops here. He stops there, he stops to Marlborough. Then eventually at his place. Actually, there would have been 3. 3 stops. Here, he leaves. He stops. He leaves. He stops. He leaves and stops there. Then the final destination. Okay, there are 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4 stops. Determine the most northerly station. The one in the most north side, this one here. The name is Hatfield. Name of the train station is Hatfield. That marks the end of question number 1. Look at question number 2. Question number 2. Michelle is planning to travel from Huntsman to Johannesburg to attend a conference. The road map of South Africa that shows the national road network is given on Annexure B. Let's go to Annexure B. This is it. This is the map. Oh, okay. Annexure B. Refer to Annexure B and answer the questions that follow. Identify the national roads that Michelle must use if she travels from Huntsman to stops in Grafennet to rest for a while. What roads is she going to take? So we check, we study the map very well. We can highlight those ones with highlighters. The person is from Huntsman here. That means he's going to use N2. He goes to George, he diverts to Grafennet here. So what are the roads that he has used? Yes, N9 and N2. So we shall write here the roads and you say N2 and N9. Name one advantage of using national roads. We can say there is less traffic, right? And there are less we call them traffic lights, which you call robots. There are less robots. Use the scale of 1:10 million to determine the actual distance in kilometers between Hammonds and Johannesburg as the crow flies. If the distance on the map between these two cities measures 13 centimeters. Now, allow me use this space below. First and foremost, we have a scale. The scale given to us, is 1:10. We have a scale here and it says 1:10 million. So 1 unit on the map represents 10 million. Now we come in and they have given us 13 centimeters. So we shall ask us of what we need to be. So we cross multiply. So we cross multiply, that means 13 centimeters on the map are representing 130 million centimeters in real life. So we need to change this to kilometers, whereby we need to divide by 100,000. We shall divide by 100,000, and we end up having 1,300 kilometers, which is 1,300 kilometers. I would like to look at how it was marked. Let's see how it was marked. Now, a mere U multiplying 13 times the 10 million, you get a mark. All right. Then you're getting the answer of 130 million. This one here, you get a mark. Multiplying by, cross multiplying it, you get a mark. Like multiplying 10 times 13, you get a mark. Dividing by 100,000, you get a mark. Getting your final answer, you get a mark. This is how the 4 marks were stipulated. These are 4 marks. Check how we get these marks. This is question number 2.1.3. Point 1.3. 2.1.3. What we are answering is to determine the actual distance given the scale and the measurement on paper. So you had to multiply. You had to multiply 13 times that. So you ended up having this much. So centimeters to kilometers, we divide by 100,000. This goes with that. That goes with that. This goes with. To remain with 1,300. Now they have become kilometers. How was it marked? A mere multiplying by that, 1 mark, getting your answer, 1 mark, dividing by 100, 1 mark, then answer, 1 mark. That's how we get the 4 marks. That's how we get the 4 marks. All right, let's look at question number 2.1.4. It will take Michelle 13 hours. It will take Michelle 13 hours to drive. 13 hours to drive a distance of 1,415 kilometers between Johannesburg and Hammonds. Michelle stated that she will be traveling at an average speed of, she states that she's going to be traveling at an average speed of 120 kilometers per hour. Verify showing all calculations whether her statement is correct. What are we verifying? We are verifying speed. We are verifying speed. So we need to find out at how much speed will she be traveling. So first and foremost, we ask us, okay, look at the formula given to us. It's time equals to distance over speed. Then your teacher told you that when we are looking for speed, we shall use this formula here, D, S, T, V, the inverted V. So simply meaning, if you're looking, because here in this question, we are proving speed. So we are looking for speed, which means speed is this one here, equals to the other words many. So we shall say S equals to distance over time. The distance we are given as 1,415 divided by the time is already in hours, divided by 13. So the final answer, there you get it as 1,015, so 1,415 divided by 10. So here you end up having 108, 108,85. These are kilometers per hour. Kilometers per hour. So this does not equal to 120. So you conclude and you say it's invalid. It's what? Invalid. It's invalid. Yes, allow me show you how these marks were given. Now, I'm here realizing the formula that distance is going to be divided by time. You get a mark for that. Substituting in the right values, the distance and the time, you get another mark. Coming down here, and you get the answer as this much, you get 1 mark. So far, these are 3. And your statement carries 2 marks. Your opinion carries 2 marks. That's how we got the 5 marks. Okay, we go to 2.1.5. 2.1.5, we look at this. The vehicle that Michelle will be traveling in consumes 7.8 liters per 100 kilometers. This simply means for every 100 kilometers, the vehicle uses 7.8 liters of fuel. Now, calculate the amount of money spent on fuel on one way trip from Hamins to Johannesburg. One-way trip, like the person is just going there, it's not coming back. They are telling you use the distance as 1,415 kilometers or 1,415 kilometers. Now, remember, I want you to know this, calculate the amount of money spent on fuel, not distance, but fuel. So for us to know the amount of money spent on fuel, we need to know how much fuel was used. How much fuel was used, because the cost is per liter. It's not per kilometer. So guess what we're going to do? We shall ask ourselves, if 100 kilometers, the person uses 7.8 liters, what about if I have 1,415 kilometers? Definitely this is going to be more, but by how much? That's the question. So we do this. We know we are looking for the number of liters. We shall cross multiply. The 7.8 we will multiply with 1,415, which equals to 100 kilometers with a box. Leave alone now the units. So we divide through by 100 on both sides and divide through by 100 on both sides. Please put this into your calculator. Put this in the calculator. So multiply there, we end up having 7.8 times 1,000. 7.8 times 1,415. You end up having 11,037. These are not yet kilometers, not yet liters. So we divide it through by 100. We divide by 100, and we have it as 100, so these are the number of liters now that we need, but each liter costs that much. So what are we going to do? We're going to multiply by 23.91. So multiply that by 23.91. So the answer becomes 2,600, 2,638.95. 2,638 rands 95 cents. So this is the money that you're going to spend. 3 marks. How were they given? How were the 3 marks given? Let's look at that. You realizing that you're going to do this step here. That's 1 mark. Looking for the number of fuel. So number of liters that you get the right answer, which is this 1 mark. You multiply by that answer by 2, and you get your final answer. Mark. That's how the 3 marks were distributed. This is how the 3 marks were distributed. Let's go to question number 2.2. 2.2. Michelle will be listening to some music on her way to Johannesburg and back. She has a CD pouch containing of the following genre of music: 6 amapiano, 2 CDs of opera, then we have 4 CDs with hip hop and 12 CDs with house music. So which genre of music has the highest probability to be randomly selected? Now, which one has the highest number here? It's the house music. House music. Then determine the probability of randomly selecting a CD with hip hop. So the first and foremost, you know that very well, the probability equals to sample over the population. Sample over population. So the sample here this the sample here, it's to choose hip hop music out of all other music. So we shall say, how many are hip hops? There are 4. Out of all others. All others, we're saying 6 plus 2 plus, actually out of the total number of CDs, plus 4 plus 12. So this is the same as 4 out of, this is the 8 plus, out of 24. Simplified format, 1 out of 6. 1 out of 6. How do you get the 2 marks? We are marking the numerator and the denominator. That's how we are marking. You have the right numerator, you have the right denominator. That marks the end of question number 2. Let's look at question number 3. Question number 3. Question number 3 says, Wedevel Senior Secondary School learner grow and sell vegetables from school's food garden. The food garden is shown in the diagram below. Carefully study the diagram and answer the questions that follow. Here we are. When you look at this will be the short side, which becomes the bread. Definitely, this has to become the length. Remember, they told us to study the diagram. Okay, so we have how many gardens? Gardens are there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 gardens of different vegetables and different vegetables. Okay. Determine the perimeter of the food garden, like the whole part of it. Remember, and they have told us use the formula 2 times length. Please learn how to substitute. The formula is already given to you. You won't get a mark for the formula. Then ask yourself, what is in the formula? 2 will not change times the length. I've just showed you the length as 16 meters. So you also come here, write 16, because you're looking for the answer in a number format. So times the breadth, I show you already, the one which was the shortest, which is 8. So we take 8. a mere doing this, you get a mark of substitution. So this is 36. This is 36. Sorry, 32. 32 plus 16. Your answer becomes 48 meters because it's perimeter. Don't forget the units. So definitely, as you see, the way I've just given it to you, if you substitute here, if you simplify here, you have the final mark here. All right, that's how we go to the answer. Oh, some other people did this. Someone else did this because you saw that it was a rectangle. So you knew very well that the limit of a rectangle is 2 into L plus B. So the 2 came out. The length we saw 16, breadth is 8, which is the same as 2 times this plus this, you get 24. The answer here becomes 48 meters. You still get the same mark as someone who did the other one. So 1 mark substitution, 1 mark for the answer, 1 mark for the simplification. Simplifying. This, all right, this is an option. Okay. 3.1.2, determine the area in meters squared of a strawberry plot if the length is, remember, take note of this, area in meters squared. So make sure that all the units that you're dealing with, they have meters. So we have 3 meters, we have 190 centimeters. That means the 190 centimeters has to change to meters, whereby centimeters to meters, we divide by 100. So you end up having 1.9 meters. So you're good to go. Everything is in meters. Come substitute in the formula. The length is 3 and the breadth, which is 1.9. So when you multiply this, you end up having the answer 3 times 1.9 equals to 5.7 meters. Okay, we're looking at that scenario there. That's done. Don't forget, these are meters squared area. The learners intend to pour organic composite over the strawberry plot. 1 bag of composite costs 59 rands, 50 cents, or 59 rands 50 cents, and covers an area of 3.1 meters squared. That's the area covered. Now, remember, we are determining, I'd like you to understand the question. We are determining the total cost to buy the composite to cover the straw. So, remember, we are not buying the area, we are going to buy bags. We are buying bags. So, what you're going to do for me is to analyze this very well. Now, if one bag covers an area of 3.1 meters squared, for you found out that you have the area of 5.7 meters squared. Ask yourself, how many bags are you going to use? Don't worry, we cross multiply. That means 57 equals to 31 times the box. So they divide, because we want our box to remain on one side, we divide through by. I'm doing this for you to understand that some people ask, well, are we going to divide? Are we going to multiply? I do this formula here. Doing this, you don't get a mark, but it will guide you on what to do. The marks will start from here. This is 1 mark because you divide it. So 5.1 divided by 5.7, sorry, divided by 5.7 divided by 5.7 divided by 3.1. So you end up having your answer as 1.8387. This means you're going to use 1 bag and some part of another bag. So definitely, since they don't sell in half bags, he has to buy 2 full bags. So now you found out you need 2 full bags. But how much is each? We multiply by. So the first scenario that we had to do is to find out how many bags do we need. Afterwards, we shall multiply with the cost, which is 59 rands, 50 cents. And you end up having your answer as 119 rands. How was this marked? How was this question marked? First and foremost, you divide it. Number 2, you got the right answer. Number 3, you realized that it won't be 1.8 meters, but you have 2 bags. You multiplied with it. Cost. So far, this you divided here, you go to the number of bags, you multiplied by the cost. You realize that it was 2, you multiplied by the cost, and you got your final answer. This is how most people, they lost the bag, they lost the marks from here. Most people lost marks from here. Okay, we continue. Question number 3.2. The school governing body, the SGB of Waterville Secondary School, has approved the building of a rectangular long jump pit. The long jump pit, it looks like more like this. People come running this side, they stop at here, and they jump into this. What you see here, this is what? The sand. Okay, let's continue. Carefully study the given information and answer the questions that follow. The information gets given to us. It's a diagram that you see here. It's part of the information. We have the length in the meters, the width in the meters, and the depth in the meters. I get the volume of the sand needed to fill up the entire long jump pit. Okay, it's fine. We go on and we see. But most cases, it's not filled up to the top. But anyway, let's continue. So the volume here, they have given the volume. Please learn how to substitute. The numbers are up here. Just bring, what's my length? Length. You bring, put it here. Times, what's my breadth? Okay, breadth is the same as width, so it's this one here. All right? You can pick this number, put it here. Times the depth. What's the depth? It's this much. Please, I'm here doing this, you get a mark. This is called substitution. Those of you who have seen Memo, it's the SF, substitution into the formula. So you have that much. Okay, we continue and we say 10 times 3. 10 times 3, 1 times 0.08. So we end up having the answer as 2.48. Don't forget the units. Meters cubed. Meters cubed. Let's see how it was marked. 3.2.2. 3.2.2. I know the substitution mark. Actually, they gave 4 marks. Here they gave 2 marks. You got your answer. 1 mark. Does it have units? Another mark. Substitution correctly. Length, length, breadth, breadth, depth, depth. That's how we got the marks, the 4 marks. So here we go. 3.2.1. I'm looking at question number 3.2.1. 3.2.1. What does it want us to do? You ask yourself. It says calculate the cost of filling up the sand pit to 95%. That means not all the volume is going to be covered by sand, but 95% of it is going to be sand. And they are telling us, now remember the cost of filling up the sand. We are not going to buy the sand in volumes, but we are going to buy it in bags. Why are we buying it? This is an indication here. That's the indication. And it says per bag. Per bag. Per bag. Look at that. It says per bag, and indeed it's here. For every 1 bag, you're going to cost it. It's going to cost you that much. And this is the cost that we're going to use. Okay. In your head, you ask yourself, wonderful. This is how much you're going to spend per bag. So before we find the bags, we need to know how much do we need of the sand. They're telling you the cost of filling up the sand pit is going. So how much volume do we need? So you're going to look for 0.95. How do I get 0.95? I got the 95%. So times the volume that we've looked at already, with this one initial, which is 90, This is in the meters what? Cubed. So you do that for me. Multiply that, we end up having so the volume that we need is 2, 3, 5, 6 meters what? Cubed. This is the volume we need. But this volume is not sold as volume. It's sold per bag. So we need to find out how many bags now. So we come here, we look for the number of what? Bags. How are we going to get the number of bags? We are going to use this. We shall use this to determine the number of what? Bags. How? Because now this one says bags are sold in volumes of 0.80 meters cubed per bag. So you ask us per bag. So how are we going to determine the number of bags? You're going to say only one bag covers a volume of 0.8 meters what? Cubed. Or you don't have 0.8, you have 2.3. So you ask yourself, how many bags are you going to use? So we shall put the volume on one side, asking ourselves, how many bags are we going to look for? So we cross multiply, which became 0.8. Because the 0.8 as multiplied with the box, giving me the one bag multiplying this other side. Times 1. So I'm looking for this box. I will need to divide through by. This goes with that. So the box is that much. So we divide this by 0.8. This is 2.945. Remember, these are what? These are bags. Now, we shall not buy half a bag. They need to be full bags. So this makes it three bags. So, okay. We've got the number of what? We've got the number of bags that we need. Now, this is not the end. Why? We are determining the cost. So each bag costs how much? 135 rands 99 cents. We shall get our 3 bags times 135.99. So here the answer becomes 400. This is the final answer. How was this marked? All right, let's look at how it was marked. Interesting. First and foremost, you have to find the volume, whereby you analyzed that you needed to look for 95% of the current volume. You got the right answer. You keep quiet. Then you went ahead to look for the number of bags. And remember, I told you this does not carry any mark, but it guides you on what to do. Because you ended up here dividing one mark. You got the number of bags, another mark. You made them 3, another mark. So far, we are sitting on 5 marks. So you multiplied with the right number of another mark, and the final answer, another mark. So let's count and you see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is how the 7 marks were created. This is to guide you. It does not carry any mark. But if you don't use it, you might just go straight and you divide through this. And here, this, it's fine. You get 1 mark. You get a number. You analyze that there are supposed to be 3 bags. Then you get the cost of each bag. And we continue. That marks the question, the end of question number 3. Let's look at question number 4. Question number 4. Okay, question number 4, it says, Rock Mama has first become one of the trendiest burger restaurants in South Africa. Below is the Rock Mama emblem. This is their emblem here. That's what they are talking about. And they have extracted out the 0 to come out. We are not normal. They have extracted the 0. This is 0, the O mark here to come out. Okay. And the formula here, they have given them to you. They have even gone ahead to tell you that the radius, because this is a short distance from up to here, the radius is 4,1 4,1 centimeter square. 4,1 centimeter. Okay, they're asking us, determine the circumference of the O with a star as shown above in the rocker mama's embryo. Write your answer in millimeters, rounded to 2 decimal places. I want you to understand this. In millimeters. When you check very well, the radius given to you, it's in centimeters. This has to ring a bell. That these centimeters, these centimeters have to become millimeters. The centimeters have to become millimeters. Now ask yourself, I need to change centimeters to millimeters. How do we do this? We multiply by 10. Big to small, multiply, and small to big, we divide. So we are going to get our 4,1 multiplied by 10. We end up having 41 millimeters squared. Together, converting 1 mark. Then come ahead and come. Determine the circumference. Determine the circumference. The moment you hear circumference, you come check on the formulas that you have. Do you have any circumference formula that it's already given to you? Where pi stands for 3,142. What do you do as a wise learner? You substitute. You can call on the formula and you substitute part by part. So circumference equals the 2 remains times where you see the pi, you put this value of 3,142 times where you see the r, you put the radius that we've just changed. Why did we change it? The answer has to be in millimeters. So we put 41. Get your final answer there. 2 times 3,142 times 41. And the answer became 257,64. This, we are looking for circumference. Please don't forget the units. Don't forget the units. Don't forget the units. So there, that marks the. Let's see how it was marked. Let's see how it was marked. Definitely, I'm mere realizing that you need changing millimeters, you get a mark. Substituting in the formula, you get a mark. The final answer, you get a mark. Rounded to 2 decimal places, it's fine. You can do that. In millimeters. Okay. Then let's come to the other question that says 4.1.2. Yes, you also got a mark for rounding. The moment you hear this, or the moment you see this in the question, you need please to round off correctly. You need to round it off correctly. All right, calculate to the nearest millimeter squared, the area of the outer circle. So among your formulas, please identify. Do you have anything? Because now they are saying area of the outer circle. The formula that we have, area of the circle, it does not change anything. So simply meaning you're going to use a formula for looking for the area. So area equals to pi r squared. I encourage you to call the formula as you write in your answer sheet. Why? It will guide you on what to do. Now I'm looking for area. I will need to substitute in. They told me wherever I see pi, I put 3,142. Actually, already the pi is there in the formula. So what's missing is the radius. But the radius is already here, as I told you. So we shall say 3,142 times 41. Don't forget, it is squared. You put the 2 above there. So you end up having the answer as 3,142 times 41 squared. You end up having 5,281,6. 0.70. These are millimeters squared. Millimeters squared. How do you think this was marked? 1 mark for substitution. 1 mark for getting the answer. Another mark for the units. Another mark for the units, or another mark for rounding off correctly. Oh, yeah. Sorry, not for the units. The other mark is for rounding off correctly. The final answer here is supposed, because they said to the nearest millimeter squared. I forgotten it. This simply means to the whole number, to the nearest millimeter. So to the nearest is 5,280. Now this is 7, making it 82 millimeters what squared. That's how the other mark was got. So you got this other answer, you rounded off. Definitely expect you to have the units there because of the instructions that we already have from the question paper. Instructions from the question paper that tell us to instruction number 8. Let me just show you quickly. Instruction number 8, it says indicate units of measurements where applicable. Where applicable. Get used to that. Please, let's go back to our question there. So question number 4.1.3. 4.1.3, it wants us to calculate, show with calculations. Okay, now look at this scenario here. Read and understand very well. The area of the gray scale, sorry, of the gray circle, the area of the gray circle. Okay, no, it was also, it's the gray because those ones were printed in black and white, but the gray circle, it was this part here. This was gray in terms of those ones who had black and white. Those ones who printed in color, it's yellow. All right. That area takes a space of 8 out of 9 of the area of the outer circle. The star, so we've got the gray area, which is the yellow one, then takes this much. Take note of that. How much space does it take? It takes 8 out of 9. Then the star takes up to 23% of the area of the inner gray circle. Remember, the inner gray circle is the one that I've just shown you, the yellow one. Show with calculations that the area of the star to the nearest millimeter is over 1,000. So now, first and foremost, ask yourself, what are you going to do? First and foremost, you're going to find the area of the gray circle that I just showed you, which is, they have told you it's 8 out of 9 of the area of the outer. And remember, the area of the outer circle just got in the previous question, which was 5,282. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the area of the gray circle, which is the yellow one. When I do that, I multiply, I end up having 4,695, 1 recurring. So this is the area of the gray circle. This is the area of the gray circle. So of this area, 23% is taken up by the star. So I need to look now for the area of the star now. Area of the star, which will be 23% of the area of the gray circle, which is the one on top here. So we shall look for the 23% of the previous answers. So times 23%. So you end up having 1079,88 millimeters what? Squared. Now they said to the nearest millimeter squared. To the nearest millimeter squared. What comes in your head? I need to round off this to the whole number, which will give me 1080 millimeters what? Squared. Now, what was the question? Verify or show with calculations that the area of the star to the nearest millimeter is over 1,000 meters what? Squared. Indeed, it's over 1,000 millimeter. They are saying show. So we've shown how we get this. How do we get the 5 marks? Let's look at the marking. How did we do the marking? Definitely, this is straightforward. You looking for 8 out of the previous area. This gave you a mark. Did you get the right answer? You get another mark. Coming down here now, you analyzing that I need now to look for 23% of the area that I've got. That's another mark. Did you get the right answer? That's another mark. Oh, did you round up the nearest? That's another mark. This is how the 5 marks were got. Don't get scared. Always read through the sentence and you say that makes sense to you. Okay, we got question number 4.2. Miss Andava ordered food from Pizza Hut A. The Pizza Hut A, it's here. Below is a screenshot of a food order and delivery route. So the information and answer the questions that follow. Mr. Andava's house is indicated on map as C. It's this one here. The house is here. Then they are telling, name the national road that's north of the house. National road, N17. So here your answer is supposed to be N17. N17. Let's go to this other one here. Miss Andava placed an order at 10:36. Take note of that. Miss Andava ordered at 10:36. The estimated preparation time for the pizza is 15 minutes. We are dealing with time now. If the delivery was estimated to be done at 6:11, but the driver got lost and only delivered at 11:18. Determine the traveling time for Mr. D. We are looking at the travel time. Now here, I advise people to draw a certain line here. This is at 10:30. It's supposed to be ready, picked up after 15 minutes. What time will it be? After 15 minutes, I believe it will be, is it 10:51? Then it arrived at 8:18. So how much time was in between here? How much time was? This is what we are looking for. This is the time that's missing. What are we going to do? Shall get 11:18 minus 10:51. We shall come here, 11:18 minus 10:51. Now the trick here, the block, it would be 18 cannot subtract 51. What do? We borrow from the 11, turn it into minutes. So remember, you've borrowed a full hour. So the meaning you've borrowed 60 minutes. Add them up. What do you end up having? This is 78. Now 78 can subtract 51. 78 minus 51, you end up having You have 27. Definitely here, if you borrow 1 hour from 11, you remain with the 10. 10 minus 10, you get nothing. So how long it was? 10 minutes. Now they are saying determine the traveling time for the delivery man. Sorry, Mr. D. That's another question. Another way around, you can ask yourself 15 expected to be delivered at 11. I'm doing this is another option. Let me do it this way. So it's supposed to be taken. It's supposed to arrive at 11, but it has arrived at 11. So how many minutes have passed? Around 12. So what do? We get the preparation time, the 15 plus 17 to find out the time that was lost in between them, which becomes 15 plus 12. The answer became 27 what? Minutes. All right, this is how. If you also think this way, it can also work out. But we're looking at determine the traveling time for derivative, Mr. Derivative. But the first one is the one that is straightforward. Thank you very much. This marks the end of our paper.